Morning, everyone. It is 10:55 today. Sorry, there wasn't one at 4. I didn't wake up until 7. So, but I'm here. Alright, recap on yesterday. Let's see what I did yesterday. I went to school and got in trouble for drinking milk on the bus. And then I went to Maxwell, took my P2P for nationals, which is a test that determines whether I win or lose if there's ever a tie. Let's see, what else? I did some whiteboard testing for Mr. James after that, and I practiced on my presentation, which I need to do more because I kind of failed the first time. It was like 4 minutes, and because I forgot what I was supposed to talk about and to talk about it slowly, kind of failed. So I need to practice more. Good thing it was a practice one and not the actual one, because I would have failed miserably. I would have taken a penalty. And then I got to my school, and they wanted me to sign something for getting in trouble on the bus for food I had eaten prior and the milk incident that morning, and I said no. And then I got home, did the dishes, and then smoked a ball and a half, and I used my new box. I can't always, I can't bring it into the picture, but basically what it is a box with a hole in it. See? A hole in the box. And you stick your head in like this. Now, hold on. There we go. Like this. And there you go. You have a hot box now. So, that's how that works. It's a little hard around the edges. If you stick it in from this side or this side. But if you stick it in through the face side, there's a face on here that says I'm high, or the back end of that face side, you should be fine. Yeah, because it's really big on those sizes. So, if you do it on those two sizes, you're good. I need to wash my hair. It's all dirty again. It's because I have to keep taking off my hat. I wouldn't get this dirty if I didn't have to keep doing this to it every time I was at school. But, oh well. It's whatevs. There we go. I have to finish the wooden bong, which I didn't show clearly last time, so that's one side. It's like a 360. That's the top. And you can't see into it because it's really dark, but these screws right here on all the sides, those act as mouth filtrations in here so that nothing can come up when you. This is the actual thing itself. I showed a little bit of it last time, but I'm showing it now in full detail. So, but yeah, so like a little tiny Thor hammer. There's the hole. Goes all the way through. So you put a filter in there, pack it down, put it in here, and there you go. Now we're gonna have to put silicone on the screws and put them back in because there's apparently holes in here that's causing air to escape. I might just do a full redo of it. And then fill in the screws as well. My dad wants to put like a thin layer on here so that it stops this. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I want to. So, but we'll see. He's usually right. I'm usually wrong, but oh well. I could drum these sides a bit more. These sides right here, because they kind of just make a sharp cutoff, and then it's regular wood again. But these ones do it kind of gradually. Especially this one. This one kind of just gradually goes into it. But yeah, that's what I'm making. I guess we could talk about bus incident yesterday. So let's see. I'm gonna try to remember as everything as accurately as possible. So I got on the bus with the milk because they were having chicken biscuits that day, right? And anytime they have food, I can just kind of shove into my mouth real quick. Is good for me because then I don't have to eat it on the bus, and I'm usually done with it by the time he gets here because he gets here like 4 or 5 minutes early. And because the line is so long, like it's like really long when I get there. I have to wait for everyone to get their food for me to get my food so I can go. Right, so I don't have time to chit chat with anyone, which I like to do, but that's besides the point. School, whatever. So anyway, I get to the door, and either I get to the door a minute before he pulls up, if I like say bye to my sister and her friends and leave, I can usually get there a minute before he pulls up, or I get there right as he's pulling up, which means I have no time to eat my food, and I'm not eating it at Maxwell because by then it's warm and gross and disgusting. Just, no, it's school food, so it's meant to be eaten then and there, no other time period. Any other time period, it's gonna be gross, disgusting, and warm and just mushy. Just, no, it's disgusting. So I haven't been able to eat recently, which is not good because I'm extremely thin. I've been eating more and more because I've been getting munchies. So I'm getting a stomach and man boobs, but other than that, I'm still incredibly thin. And so I need to eat anything, whether it's a small Pop-Tart, a small whole grain Pop-Tart, or a chicken biscuit. And so when it's the handheld foods like the chicken biscuit or the sausage biscuit or they're like pastries but they're filled with like apple or cherry, and those like the only two flavors they have. I don't know what they're called, but they have them. So foods like that I can wolf down as I'm walking and then drink my milk on the bus, which normally isn't a problem, but it was a problem yesterday. And so usually they have like Pop Tarts or cereal, things I have to sit down, eat, or have to eat in multiple bites. I can't just go home like I can with the handheld foods. So normally they have Pop Tarts, so I'll grab a Pop Tart, I'll start eating one, he'll get here, like, oh, fudge. So I'll either finish it or eat, or I'll finish it, drink the milk because the milk gets warm, and that's what I don't like. That's why I don't eat foods outside of where they're provided, especially school foods. Oh, my nose, it just. Oh. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I drink the milk. We don't have any issues. As long as I don't take food out and eat it in front of the bus driver, we're good, right? We're cool. Which is fine. It's kind of a little irritating, but whatevs. So yesterday, the supervisor told me to get off, and I complained a little bit. I was like, "What? Why? What? Seriously?" She's like, "Yes, seriously, get off, or the bus is gonna leave you." There was no need for the threat, but I didn't say there was no need for the threat. But I was like, "Fine, whatever." So I started drinking, and on my way to the trash can, because people are still coming out, right? It's not time to leave yet. People are still getting here. The people that are like really late, then they're not as late as me. They're later than me, right? They're coming out. So I finish it, throw it on the bus, throw it in the trash, and walk back. Well, that little interaction, even though I did what you was told, it got me in trouble, which made my mom upset. She's like, "You have a week of school, just don't do anything." Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna not do anything. If there is an injustice, I feel there's an injustice, I'm gonna speak up. Now, usually my injustices are really petty things, but I'm a petty person. Just if you're cool, you don't bother my routine, you don't mess with things that have been there that I've been accustomed to, we're good. We're totally fine. You change that, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna be like, why is it being changed though? I don't really care that it's being changed. I just want to know why. And I don't want the because I am. Because I'm because I said so. No, 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 no. That is not that doesn't no. That's not a legitimate answer. A legitimate answer is, well, because you might choke on the milk while driving. Okay, that's a stupid reason, but it's a reason nonetheless. Fine, I'll stop drinking milk on the bus. Or you might choke, if I slam on the brakes, you might choke on your food and, you know, emergency. So I was like, alright, fine, I get it, I don't like it, but whatever. I'll try to eat faster. But the adults don't tell me this. Because I'm in school, they still see me as a child. And so they're like, because I told you so. No, I am 20, almost 21 years old. Okay? You're not my boss. You specifically do not control anything in my life. Sure, you can write me up, and then other people who are in control of me graduating can deal with it. But you specifically are not in control. Which is stupid reasoning, I know, but that's the way I think. I don't do well with authority, which is an issue I have, which I need to work on, which I have been working on. I've stopped arguing more with authority and just been like, okay, alright, come on, bring on the consequence. Because I don't want to deal with it. I don't. If you just explain to me why rules are suddenly being... I don't like sudden changes. Really sudden changes. Like, I don't mind mildly sudden changes. Like when YouTube came out, that was a sudden change. Because I was around when YouTube came out. Because I was born in 1998. So I was like 10, 11 when YouTube came out. So I remember when YouTube came out, and that was a change, right? But it was a mild change. It was like, here's some videos. You don't have to watch them. You can watch them. If you watch them, cool. If you don't, you don't. Right? That was a mild change. I was like, okay, there's a change. Let's calm down and deal with it. But when it's a sudden change where I have been eating on the bus since probably middle school. Like late middle school, early high school is when I've been able to eat on the bus. And every bus driver that I have ever interacted with has usually not made a big deal about it. If you spill, you don't get to bring food on the bus. Has been the rule, right? Since I can remember. So when this current bus driver says no food, period, whether you spilt it or not, it's such a drastic change that I want to fight it. And so I say, well, no, not really, because multiple other, it's not just one specific other bus driver, it's multiple bus drivers. male, female, multiple bus drivers have said it's cool as long as you don't spill. And if you spill, you clean it up right away. I don't mind you eating on the bus. That's fine. You go ahead. So that has been going on for a long time, and I've gotten into the routine of grabbing my food, eating it, and then if the bus gets here early, I can still eat it, but if it doesn't, then I still get my breakfast. We're good. It's been working, and now it's suddenly changed, and I can't eat at all. So I get hangry. So I get to school. I'm like, oh, I'm starving. I've had nothing but coffee all morning. I want to grab something. So I grab something to eat, shove it in my mouth, or start to shove it in my mouth. But I can't because stupido bro over here gets here 5 minutes before we need to leave, which is at 7:10. So he gets here at 7:05, right? That's 5, yeah, 7, yeah, that's 5 minutes. So he gets here at 7:05, right? So I'm like, I'm busted here. Nope, I gotta put it away. Can't do anything about it. Which is, and then when I tried to tell other people, or like other adults, right? So I get in trouble. They write me up. The administrative office or whoever files the write-ups calls me in, says, hey, you're in trouble, you've broken a rule, you get so much suspension. When I try to tell them the story, they just ignore me because they see me as a kid. So I can't explain myself, I can't get it reduced. So for breaking the rule of eating on the bus, I could get anywhere from 3 days of ISS to a day of OSS. For eating on the bus. So, the first time I did it, I accepted responsibility. They said, you can't eat on the bus. Actually, no, they didn't tell me I couldn't eat on the bus. They said I couldn't have food out and eat it at the same time. So I couldn't have food and just munch on it on the bus. That was not acceptable. You were breaking the rule. You got in trouble. 3 days of ISS. So I said fine, signed for it, took it back, right? So the second time, I had a mouthful of food. I had managed to shove one whole Pop-Tart in my mouth and was chewing it when I got on the bus. Now, yes, technically, I didn't have food in my hand. I put it away, there was no more. It's a technicality, it's a loophole. I know 101 likes loopholes, but I do. And I use them to my advantage. That's how I'm able to get so much food during lunch. Because for lunch, I have free lunch. Right? I'm poor, I'm broke. I get free lunch. Which means I get 1 milk, 1 main course, 1 side, vegetable and fruit. Right? That's what I get. Any more, and I have to pay for it, which is $2.50. Right? If I want a whole nother lunch, which is usually what I eat, I have to pay $2.50 for all of it, which I don't have, which is why I have free lunch. But there's a loophole. Because they can't measure how much vegetables you get and how much fruit you get, you can scoop as much as you can fill onto your plate and hold it there is how much you get. And so what I do is I grab 4 or 5 scoops of broccoli, big scoops of broccoli, so the scoop is about that big, and I normally get about that much broccoli. Right, enough to fill half the tray. So my tray looks like a carton of milk, a slice of pizza with a mountain of broccoli on it. And then on the pizza is a mountain of ranch, because the broccoli doesn't really taste good without ranch. And I get this so often because I'm so hungry most of the time that I've been now called the broccoli man by anyone that knows me. Anytime I sit down with my plate full of food, it's, oh my goodness, why do you have so much broccoli? And no one seems to get that I don't really care for the broccoli. It's just food, so I don't get hangry. So I don't snap people's heads off. Because when I start snapping people's heads off, no one likes me. And so I try to eat as much as I can so that I'm no longer hungry, so that I don't get hangry. Right? And that's what I get for lunch. I don't remember what we were talking about because I went on a tangent of what I get for lunch. Talking about the bus. Pop-Tarts. Okay, yeah, second time. I don't think I finished that story. Anyway, so the second time, they're like, hey, you're breaking a rule, you're gonna get written up. I was like, I've swallowed it. There's nothing I can do. I was like, alright, you're gonna get written up. Like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. So, halfway to school, I was like, well, I'm getting in trouble anyway. Took the second Pop-Tart and ate it. Sure, it was a stupid move. Yeah, it wasn't the right way to deal with it, but I was hungry. Like I've said multiple times throughout this whole video, I'm hungry and I want food. So if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna eat. So I ate, I drank the milk, I packed it all up in a nice little cute container. Squished and turned sideways. The container for the Pop-Tart there wasn't any mess. There were a few crumbs, but I cleaned it up. Made it so there was no trace I had ever had any food on the bus. And so now they're like, well, you have to sign for it. You have to sign for the thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. I'm not accepting responsibility for this one because you guys were the morons who decided to say that I was breaking the rules because I had a mouth full of food. Yes, it's a loophole. Yes, I'm taking that loophole. If you don't like it, you can suck it. Now, I want to clarify. When I say suck it, I do not mean suck a dick. I mean suck it. When I say that line, I'm referring to Psych when both Sean and Gus would say suck it. To me, that is what I mean when I say you can suck it. Sure, it's a little rude. It's like calling someone an idiot. But it's not insulting. But because the rest of the world has been brought up that suck it means suck a giant dick, or whatever insult you wish to insert there, I have to clarify when I'm upset. So if I tell someone, you know what, and you can suck it, I have to go, well, let me clarify. When I say suck it, I don't mean, like I just said. So they're going to try to pin it on me. I've explained the situation to my parents. They groan and whine because it's a loophole, but I take loopholes. Loopholes get me what I want. Because I want a nice, calm, relaxing life with pleasure stuff, weed, food, a wife, kids, home, and I don't have to pay for it. So the less work I have to do to get there, the better for me. And if you don't want me looking for loopholes in your wording, don't make them. Don't make the loopholes. Like the luncheon. If they didn't want me to grab that much food because they want it to be a cutoff point, then say, hey, you're only allowed one scoop of broccoli anymore and you have to pay. Which is ridiculous, which is probably why they don't have it. But because of me, they probably will